now to Republican lawmakers facing angry voters at town halls across the country, upset over President Trump's agenda. But the White House dismissing some of these people as professional protesters. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl has more on all of that. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Amy. Members of Congress are home for their first full week of recess since President Obama took office, and they are getting an earful from their constituents.
Raucous crowds confronted Republicans across the nation, from Louisiana to New Jersey.
And I'd like to know how you will mobilize the other Republicans to push back against this man when he makes delusional statements.
Anger vented at Republicans in Congress and President Trump over health care and immigration.
I could tell you 3 members of my family, including me, that would be dead, and homeless if it was not for ACA.
In Iowa, Senator Joni Ernst faced a similar scene, protesters following her to her car. And in Kentucky, the top Republican in the Senate was the target.
The veterans are sick, the veterans are broken down, they're not getting what they need. If you can answer any of that, I'll sit down and shut up like Elizabeth Warren.
Some activists held their own town hall meetings, asking questions to cardboard cutouts and empty chairs. President Trump dismissed the scene as so-called angry crowds, planned out by liberal activists. Sad.
The president referred to so-called angry crowds at these town halls. Is he suggesting this is manufactured anger, that this is not real anger and real concern?
I think there's a hybrid there. I think some people are clearly upset, but there is a bit of professional protester manufactured base in there. Just because they're loud doesn't necessarily mean that there are many.
There's no question that liberal groups are encouraging these raucous town halls. MoveOn.org has dubbed this week Resistance Recess. They've published the lists of address and times and places for these town hall meetings. But, George, at several of these town halls, you see constituents holding up their driver's licenses to prove that, yes, they are constituents. They are from the local area.
Okay, John, Karl, let's talk about this more now with our Chief Global Affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz. One of the big issues there at the town meetings is immigration. And, of course, today you have the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security down in Mexico ahead of protests there as well.
That's going to be a very tough meeting, George. Mexico has already said they don't want to be pushed around by America. We can't stress enough how important this partnership is with Mexico, 3rd biggest trading partner, and we've got Mexico saying, we don't want that wall built, and we're certainly not going to pay for that wall. So this is going to be a tough meeting. I think success could be defined by them just coming out and saying they'll try to work together.
And they'll talk some more in the future. Meanwhile, we talked yesterday about the fact that the president has asked for a battle plan against ISIS next week. Right now, major advance for the Iraqi troops backed by American forces there.
Backed by American forces, they have apparently retaken the airport in Mosul. That is a huge deal. If you have the airport, you really have the advantage there. But we've got months ahead of us as they try to go into western Mosul, and we have now learned that there are more Americans involved closer to that battle line, and in fact we have had some wounded.
And we've had at least one general on the ground say he wants even more American troops closer.
Yes, what they do is they sort of gradually go towards the front line. It's called they're with the battalion now, about 700 Iraqi forces, and they can gradually get closer. They help call in air support. They feel it's very important to have more Americans closer.
Okay, Martha Raddatz, thanks for